The following is a passage from the audiobook Thy Order Nocturnal, a sci-fi superhero tale by Cul'tofay. Thy Order Nocturnal is set in the author's Meridian Wanderings universe and is book 1 in the 3-part Earth Mages storyline. September 26, 2059, 14:03 hours. The Hoveraptor was forced to land between Deadhorse and Pruto. The pilot was remaining in the vehicle while the team would make their way the 2 miles to the site. As the drop ramp lowered, a gust of frigid wind blew up into the aircraft. Many Spirit peered out into the cold white snow and then turned back to frown at his companions. Nate opened his e-bite. A holographic map showed the surroundings, which consisted of flat, open expanse and snow. "What's the temperature?" Many Spirit inquired. "Fucking cold! Do you need an exact number to tell that?" Zagora asked. She headed down the ramp while pulling her hood up. "How we gonna do this? Anybody really want to walk 2 miles in this shit?" "What choice do we have?" Beachhead asked snottily while grabbing a camera drone. "I can teleport us a little ways," Zagora replied, ignoring the blond man's attitude. "It can be taxing, so the whole way will leave me wiped." "I can get us there," Pello insisted bluntly. She lifted her right hand and closed her fist. A shadow ball surrounded the foursome and the flying camera. Zagora reached up and touched the smooth, semi-transparent wall and raised a brow at the ex-fate. "We gonna hamster ball all the way there?" the mage asked. Pello glanced at the petite, brown-skinned woman. "No." Suddenly, an explosion of shadows blasted out from underneath the sphere, sending the orb up and forward. The group was pushed forcefully against the rear of the shadow bubble, while reaching an amazing speed and height. As the orb slowed near its zenith and began to plummet, Beachhead and Many Spirit started yelling. Zagora grabbed Pello's arm and pulled herself toward the gold-eyed woman as the zero-gravity effect caused the team to float inside the sphere. "Girl, you the shit!" she hollered above the sound of the men's screams. "I hope you got a plan on slowing us before we go splat." Pello smiled at Zagora and then pointed toward the ground. Spiraling shadow legs blasted forward. They extended until they reached the frozen earth and slowed the ball's descent. Once they were on the ground and the boys stopped panting, Pello glanced at Beachhead. "How much further does your gadget say we need to go?" "Remember, on the Seattle waterfront, when I asked you to warn me if you were ever going to sling me into the air?" Beachhead said, sounding panicked. "I do remember that, yes," Pello replied with a slight smile. "I don't know what y'all bitching about. That was fun." Zagora laughed. Just a little warning is all I ask," Beachhead stammered, before peering down at his 3D map. "Ugh, shit, another mile," he whined. Pello smiled at the muscle-bound blonde. "Shall I let the slinging commence?" she asked. Beachhead sighed. "Okay, fine. Let's do this." The foursome flew and then landed easily again. This time they were in sight of multiple igloos and a campfire. As they approached the camp, the Alaskan natives noticed the newcomers and began to stare. "They probably don't speak English," Many Spirit mentioned to his teammates. He lifted his e-bite and spoke into the mic. "Inuit translation," he said to the computer while holding the phone to the side of his neck. "Hello, we're from the United World Government. We're Earth Mages. Come to inquire about this." He pulled the e-bite away from his throat and pushed a button. The photo of the giant ice statues appeared in the air a few inches above the phone. The tribe members began to shake their heads as if they didn't know anything. Many Spirit held up his phone again. "Come on, really?" he said, flipping to the next image that showed people surrounding the statue. "Clearly, you know something." Howling wind whipped through the camp, causing Zagora and Beachhead to cross their arms and hunch up. Blinding flecks of snow blew around momentarily, causing an almost whiteout condition. Suddenly, in a swirl of snow, two massive men with bluish-white skin appeared in the camp. Both of them were huge and at least 8 feet tall, with brutish wide shoulders, gigantic limbs, and enormous appendages.
"Why have you come to our village?"